Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. The United Nations has suspended food distribution in the southern Gaza city of Rafah due to Israel's expanding military operation and blockade there. It warns humanitarian operations across the territory are now nearing collapse. The Pentagon says the pier it built off Gaza's coast has helped deliver 500 metric tons of aid, though the aid has yet to reach any Palestinians. World Health Organization Director Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus issued a dire warning Tuesday.
At a time when the people of Gaza are facing starvation, we urge Israel to lift the blockade and to let aid through.
The World Food Program says the U.S.'s $320 million pier project may fail unless Israel starts providing the conditions humanitarian groups need to operate safely after a delivery attempt failed with aid looted and one Palestinian man dead. Ireland, Norway, and Spain say they will recognize Palestine as an independent nation beginning May 28th next week. Leaders of the three European nations made the announcement today during a press conference. Here's Ireland's Prime Minister Simon Harris.
Recognition is an act of powerful political and symbolic value. It is an expression of our view that Palestine holds and should be able to vindicate the full rights of a state, including self-determination, self-governance, territorial integrity and security, as well as recognizing Palestine's own obligations under international law. It is a message to those in Palestine who advocate and work for a future of peace and democracy that we fully respect your aspirations to be living freely, in control of your own affairs and under your own leadership.
Norway's prime minister called Palestinian statehood a step towards peace and a two-state solution, which is largely opposed by Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Other European nations are expected to follow suit. 140 other nations have already recognized a Palestinian state, including Sweden in the European Union. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken called the decision to request war crimes arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister and Defense Minister wrong-headed. He spoke before a Senate Foreign Relations Committee Tuesday, where he was heckled by peace activists with Code Pink who raised hands covered in red paint and shouted,
"Genocide enabler, complicit in genocide, war criminals, the blood of 40,000 Palestinians."
South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham called for sanctions against the International Criminal Court, whose chief prosecutor is seeking the warrants.
If they'll do this to Israel, we're next. This group tried to come after our soldiers. Yeah, you can clap all you want to. They tried to come after our soldiers in Afghanistan, but reason prevailed. So at the end of the day here, what I hope to happen is that we level sanctions against the ICC for this outrage to not only help our friends in Israel, but protect ourselves over time.
President Joe Biden has also condemned the pursuit of arrest warrants against Israeli leaders for war crimes. Tuesday, independent Senator Bernie Sanders spoke in support of them on the Senate floor.
Yes, democratically elected officials can commit war crimes. Let me repeat, democratically elected officials can commit war crimes. The ICC is doing its job. It's doing what it is supposed to do. We cannot only apply international law when it is convenient.
Bernie Sanders, Iran Supreme Leader and representatives of ally President, Foreign Minister, and other officials killed in a helicopter crash earlier this week. FSN's Ollie Barrett reports.
Thousands of people have lined the streets in Iran as funeral rites begin for President Raisi after Sunday's helicopter crash. There will be several ceremonies over the coming days, with a burial due in his birthplace of Mashhad on Thursday. Presidential elections are being organised to choose a replacement for Ibrahim Raisi, with voting due to take place next month. Vahid Beheshti, an Iranian-British human rights activist.
His nickname is the Butcher of Tehran. He is one of the main figures who was involved in the genocide of 1988, which they executed over 30,000 political prisoners.
US State Department Press Secretary Matthew Miller expressed regret at any loss of life, but said that Raisi's record in government means he has blood on his hands. I'm Ollie Barrett.
Prosecutors and defense lawyers players in the criminal prosecution of Donald Trump for hoarding boxes of classified government documents after leaving the White House are due in court in Florida today for the first time since a judge indefinitely postponed the trial. The Trump-appointed District Judge Eileen Cannon scheduled to hear arguments today on a Trump request to dismiss the indictment. His attorneys claim the prosecution fails to clearly articulate a crime and instead amounts to a personal and political attack. Prosecutors on special counsel Jack Smith's team say he withheld documents even when he knew the FBI was looking for them. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.